Wait, is that what that means?
Gang, gang, gang. We are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone sitting at home. Can I be spotlit? Yay. Hello, everyone. I am not Esperanza. I am your host, Reggie. And welcome to the Berkeley Poetry Slam monthly new shit show. Yes, it is the top of December. It is the most important time of the year. No, not the holidays, Sagittarius season. The most important birthdays of the year are coming just around the corner, if not happening right now, because we don't believe in November Sagittarius, is also known as extended Scorpios. But we have an amazing lineup of poets to kick off the true Sagittarius season, right? But before we begin, I have to give a quick thanks to the folks that make it possible, our patrons over on Patreon. We usually say like it's been a year and a half. It has been 2 fucking years, damn near, of online shows. We haven't quit, we haven't stopped. We've taken breaks because self-care, but we are still committed to bringing you live poetry straight to your living room, straight to your community, and all of that costs money, despite the fact that we don't charge anyone to be here or to watch. So it is really because of our patrons on Patreon that we've been able to provide all of these amazing shows for you over the course of the pandemic. So I'd like to thank Alice Nami, Melody Montgomery, Stephanie Yeboah, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Calla Lily for risking it for the biscuit with us. Gonna give a thank you to Jessica Kozakic for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops, and a special thanks to Alice Grimm and Rebecca Abraham for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center for Justice. If you'd like to donate monthly, you can always go to patreon.com/Rich Oak Events in order to donate, or you can donate one time via Cash App, hashtag Rich Oak Events, or Venmo at Rich Oak Slam. All of your donations go right back into running the show, making sure that we are able to provide both in-person and virtual programs to the community, and continue paying the artists that make this space so great. Speaking of artists, we have an amazing lineup of poets. The poets will be reading in this order. We have Sandy, we have Nicole Tracy, we have Propaganda Poet, we have Chev, we have Esperanza Cabrales, and we have Kelsey Daniels. Gang, gang. Give it up for every single poet who's going to be touching this stage tonight.
Gang, gang. Woo!
Lit. But of course, Slam, it's a competition, and competitions have rules. Poets, you have no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, no nudity, but most important is the time limit. 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to say whatever you want. After 3 minutes in that grace period of 10 seconds, you will be deducted points by our scorekeeper. Who's our scorekeeper for today, Colin?
Yes.
Hello.
Lit.
Hi. Can you turn your sound up, the host? So what just happened? I have the sound up really high to hear you, and then someone else came in and there was a super big difference. Is there any way you could get closer to your mic or turn your sound up? I wanted to say something early on. I didn't know if it affected anybody else. There was a big jump difference. You're quieter than whoever else came in. I have you turned up really high.
This is the only microphone I have, but let me see if I can.
I don't know if you can get closer to it or
hello.
Or turn it up. I just thought I'd mention it. Sound, run and show sound stuff. That's all.
Is anyone else having problems hearing me?
No, I can hear you there, but somebody else, when they came in, it was super loud. I have you up really high. I have your volume up high.
Okay.
Yeah, I have the volume up all the way too, and I can barely hear you, Reggie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I thought I'd say something. Let me get this hand off of here. There we go.
I can
Okay.
hear you okay, but projecting might help.
Okay, how about this?
Ah!
Bit better.
Is this better?
It's better volume, but it's a little bit harder to understand what you're saying. It's like the mic doesn't pick up your enunciation. It's weird.
Okay, so y'all are gonna have to pick. Am I gonna be quiet and understood, or am I going to be loud and kind of gargly because I don't have any more options? And this is half the reason that I was late.
I'd
So
rather have
Okay,
to
sorry, quieter was better. Now you're pixelated.
I vote for the other one.
Yeah,
Yep,
quiet
sorry.
was better. Quiet and understood better.
Quiet and understood it is.
Yep.
Sorry, sibling.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay. Lit. Let me see.
You sound better now.
Way better. That's way better now.
You're good.
Yeah,
You know, I probably had these shows on backwards.
That's
There
way
you
better.
go. There you go. You sound great now. There you go. Yep. Yep. That's it.
It's supposed to be on your left side.
Wow. So you know what? We all learn new things every day. Damn.
You are calling this the
Reggie.
shit show, right? Or the new shit show. That's right.
We might have to drop the new off of this show.
Reggie, you had them on straight, just backwards.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If that's not my sexuality, even when I try something straight, it's backwards. Jesus. But yeah. Damn, what was I saying? I was saying something about a time limit. 3 minutes, 10 seconds. After that, you'll be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Colin. After 4 minutes, you will be muted, much like my voice when I had this headphone turned around. But you will the rest of the show. I'm very awkward. Please don't make me any more awkward than I already am. So please don't go over 4 minutes. Word of the day. You've got me fucked up. Word of the day. I'm sorry, I just looked at the word of the day. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm like, wild. Y'all aren't going to believe me. But word of the day is a time-honored tradition. Some people call it a gimmick. Some people call it tradition. Some people don't call it at all. And it gets very sad when you stand it up like that. But it's a time-honored tradition where we force poets to jam a random word off of the internet into their poem for an extra point. Judges, you don't have to worry about that extra point. Our scorekeeper will handle it. Our word of the day today, and I shit you not, is Derek.
Dairy?
Derek, like
an oil Derek, or
like McDreamy Derek. Like Derek the name, except it's not a name. It is a word that is a noun, and it means a hoisting apparatus employing a tackle rigged at the end of a beam, or a framework or tower over a deep drill hole like, for example, like an oil well, for supporting boring tackle or for hoisting and lowering. It sounds like a very, very fancy word for pulley system. Specifically for like oil or drilling. Yeah, if you use the word Derek in your poem, you get an extra point. Now, you can't just say the name of this poem is Derek. In fact, we're going to put a rule just specifically for this, since it's also a name. You can't just throw in the name Derek. You have to use it in a natural way in the poem and following these definitions. So let's not treat Derek like it is a name. It is a pulley system. Lit. Right. Don't treat Derek is no longer a person. Derek is an object, and you have to use that word. That I'm sorry to any Dereks in the crowd. You are valid. But yeah, that's enough for word of the day. I'm
gonna get too sucked into that. Speaking of extra points, judges, thank you so much for being here. You have rules too. If someone said Derek gradation, like degradation, and I'm just done. But judges, thank you so much for judging. Without you, we wouldn't be able to give poets money at the end of the night. Y'all have the hardest job. You have to score every poem from a zero point 0 to 10.0 scale, zero point 0 being the worst thing you have ever heard in your life. It's like trash wrapped up in like dog poop, wrapped up in like the wrapping paper that's like always ripping on you. And then you ran out of tape, and that's just like a 2.4. A 10 is the best thing you've ever heard in your life. It's like Santa came early and he didn't bring presents. He brought financial stability. He brought student loan abolition. He brought regular abolition because we still haven't gotten that. He brought all of the things that you wish to see in a just and fair society. And that's just an 8.8. Point being, there's not a lot of zeros, not a lot of 10s. Score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep where as the night goes on and you get more into the vibes of things, yeah, you start feeling the poetry a little more and start giving higher scores, but that's not fair to the people that went first when you were sober and vibeless. So to mitigate that, we have a sacrificial poet, which if someone could message me who that sacrificial poet is, that would be great. We have a sacrificial poet. They're gonna go first. You're gonna score them as if they are competing, but they aren't, and think of them as a calibration. So any poem you like more, score them higher. Any poem you don't like as much, score them lower. And then of course, you at home, you have rules too. First, please like, share, and subscribe to our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Berkeley Poetry Slam or Berkeley Slam on Instagram and Twitter. We do a lot of this shit a month. Like we have so many slams, so many shows every month. And you want to stay sweetie tapped into all the stuff that we're doing so you can keep having poetry plugged right into your living room or studio apartment or car. I don't know where you're at, wherever you're at. And then, of course, wherever you are, please comment on the feed. Show as much love for these poems and these poets as possible. Is Matt Dry in a Zoom chat? So all of the love that you send, all of the positive energy would be appreciated. Keep the hate shit out of our comment section. Our block game is strong. But you weren't here for our block game. You were here for the poetry game. So we have a bunch of poets. We already said who they were. So I think we are ready to start the show. Woo! Woo! No, we are not quite ready. We still need our sacrificial poet, someone to get the judges ready for poetry. Everybody say, spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
Spill the blood.
And give it up for your sacrificial poet, Reggie.
Woo.
Woo!
Ooh, sacrifice, sacrifice.
Spill the blood.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Content warning for Black Death. 1. If I don't have faith, I have fists. I have bone break violence. I have blood-fingered nails, a claw, a hook, an unhappening of a vein, the red poured out on the concrete, the pain, the pain, the pain, the searing, the fire, the water, the bodies left to drown in the dirt. The maggots swarm the delicious rot of skin sagging over dead muscles and tired bones so white it makes the morning worth listening to. Grief is a troublesome thief. I cry over my own corpse. I cry for the body next to it. I cry for the dirt and all the death it carries, for all the ghosts surrounded by their own unmaking, for all the black boys surrounded by a familiar haunting, for all the blood that knows the blade that spilled it too. If black boys are not magic, why are we so good at disappearing? I believe now. I really do. I think a part of me always has. I know that I will die before the trick is over. I'll fill with maggots before the curtains close, but damn, what a house the magician has made me. My home, made of cloth, wide brimmed and trimmed neat, big enough to fit any corpse he's left to rot in the dark. Listen here, children. The trick is simple. You just close your eyes, count to 3, believe in something, in anything, as long as it's not me. 3. It does not take much to believe in something. This I know from experience. I think faith in this way is completely useless. It is easy to fall for any magician's trick, to see him pull a ghost from the hat and mistake it for a rabbit, a living thing, her faith, something worth keeping, worth holding on to. 4. So the magician keeps pulling the same dead rabbit out the same tired hat, and all the children are crying except for the black boys. Do it again. Do it again. It can't be dead. And denial grabs at a young neck before grief can crawl from its throat and make a home out of rotting flesh and brittle bone. 5. An erasure. I do not have faith. I have bone. I have blood. The red pain searing the bodies left to drown in the maggot swarm. Rot of dead bones. My body carries all the ghosts, all the black boys, all the blood. 6. So this faith thing has gotten just a little bit complicated. What's with the rabbit? That doesn't matter. What's that supposed to mean? That doesn't matter either. Nothing, in fact, matters when you are staring down the barrel of a gun, when there is no God that will take a bullet for you. And how many times must the rabbit vanish for someone to notice its absence? And how many crowds will actually applaud the disappearing? Rabbits and tricks, gods and men, they are all the same to me. I'll stuff the magician inside his own hat if I have to. If I have faith, it is only within myself. If I have a God at all, I'll kill him with my own 2 hands. I'll bury him in his own dirt. Where's my camera? Give it up for the poet gang. All right, judges, you are now experts. I trust you. I know you. You've got this. Audience, I don't know who the judges are. And by that, I don't mean that like I don't know the judges individually. It's like I actually don't know who in the crowd are judges. So I'm gonna need you to hold them accountable and let them know how you feel. To answer, Colin, keeper of scores, is scorekeeping. That is his name on Zoom. So that's what I'm gonna call him, but his mama name's in Colin, so I'm also gonna call him Colin. But Colin, also known as the keeper of scores, is scorekeeping. So if you could send your scores to him, that would be great. Lit. So that was our first poet. We are now ready for our slam. Boom, boom. So that means on deck, we have Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to our Okay, yes. Give maximum love to our first poet of the slam. Give it up for Sandy.
Woo!
Can you hear me?
We can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay. La criatura. The creature whispers in my ear like a forbidden lover. I'm seeing you for a while. I promise I won't hurt you. I'll just help you fly away for a while. Then I'll let you go. I promise. Estar un poco ciega. Un momento nomás. Y te suelto, te prometo, te suelto. There is no direct translation to Spanish for the word craving. Ansiedad. Pero ansiedad no explica nada. Anxiousness, not an anxiousness, a craving. A creature of craving, a craving creature. Me murmura, ven nomás una vez y te suelto, te aseguro. Pero la criatura miente. The creature whispers, come just once, but the creature lies. If I let it in, it will never leave. It seems the creature visits you as well, but you have taken his hand as I brushed it aside. The only thing that lets me brush it away is going to meetings and pray. I see he does not visit me quite as often. But he has come to live in your house, and that person you become when he is with you overcomes you and changes you. You frighten me when he is with you. You burn toilet paper as a ritual. I'm cleansing demons. My lovely friend, full of fire and night, that perfect mix of dark and light. When he is not with you, when you let him in the door, I feel sorry for you, you frighten me. He shows you movies in your head of fake eyes watching everything you do. You believe everyone is trying to hurt you. Me preguntas, ¿quién te pagó para tocarme la espalda? Pues nadie. You ask me who paid you to rub my back. Well, fucking nobody. I miss you, but you are not there when he is there. He takes over your body. You do not see that your eyes are not the same. So when the creature is with you, I cannot be with you. He has no sense of time. He has no sense of reality. He has no sense of who you are, who I am. And if I could, I would kill the creature for you. Mine, I know he's not dead. Just wait. There are so many things I want to share with you. You who are the only one in this town of 7,000 people. Quien me entienda lo que diga, who speaks the same Spanglish. Dios es todopoderoso y te quiere high or not. Pero yo solamente soy ser humano. God is all powerful and loves you, pero no. But I am only human. And I fear next time I will try to kill your creature, and I'll end up killing you too. That's it.
Gang,
Woo!
gang, gang. Give it up for Sandy. Woo!
Woo!
Lit. And our sacrifice, if I am not mistaken, which I could be because I have the same short-term memory as Dory, our sacrifice got a 28.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. The poetry and never the points. All right. We're going to keep in the groove of things because on deck, we have propaganda poet, but give maximum love to our second poet in the first round. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Woo! Woo!
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Loud and clear.
Yellow Peril responds to being told to lean into stereotypes 150 years later. It is astounding how quickly you forget they called us dangerous, because if you've them changed their mind and called you model minority, you pander to what they want, taking your own advice and leaning in. They only listen when you call yourself a success story anyways, only care because you too come from a line of doctors, lawyers, and mathematicians, all of who believe surviving means becoming one of them, pointing the danger towards anyone else. Only got people to care because your slogan got people chanting math, 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 math at the only Asian on the debate stage. Make America think harder. Will we be proud to call you a representative of our community? Make America think harder. If I wanted to whitewash myself, I would open fucking Harry Potter and note the lack of lines Cho Chang has, or how Asian characters are often played by white actors in yellowface. Make America think harder. They still don't love us. We're just called new things. Yellow Peril becomes revoked citizenship, becomes ally, now called enemy, becomes Oriental, becomes Kung Flu and China virus, all accompanied by redacted slurs. Make America think harder. A few selected to be held up as the model minority, used as a shield so they can say they aren't racist. They like the good ones after all. But still assume we got here by some miracle. Make America think harder. They label you first generation so you forget all that comes before American. You tell me to lean in. Stereotypes are flat, one-dimensional, and dangerous, and I am so much more than that. And Mr. Yang, while your policies were important, you did oppose using derricks for oil drilling because the environment is important. I'm sure you too saw yourself get drowned out by the sea of whiteness and mediocrity on the debate stage and in the news. You could have been so much more than the candidate who thought his economic policy would work because he's Asian and can do math. I know it is never easy to be the first or second or third or any counted number to do something. I'm sure you made sacrifices to your identity to be heard, but you should not become what they demand of you. Be like them, demand your place yourself. Don't lean in, stand up. Stereotypes are flat, one-dimensional, and dangerous, and you are so much more than that.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Woo! Lit, 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 lit. And for reference, Sandy got a 27.8. Once again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet. Never the point. Side note, something that I've realized, when you vape, you become your own fog machine. So vibes. Anyway, let's see. On deck, we have Chev, but give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity and this amazing stage. Berkeley, I miss California so much. Oh my God, I miss California so much. And thank you for Billy Tuggle for directing me towards you guys. And such amazing poets here tonight, like ridiculous. I hope that I can, I wish I could tell you all to step off because I just want to burn you with the friction in my diction. But recently I've made a decision based solely on gut feeling, and it's still got my heart, mind, body, and soul reeling. So I've been hitting a wall, and this writer's block shit has got me feeling small. Now I'm supposed to be able to smith my words and craft my style, because there for a while I thought that I needed to be heard, but maybe I just needed to hear myself think. So I could gather my thoughts like a gathering of nations without the hesitation of a society of convenience where everything is supposed to save our time, but nothing ever seems to get done. So run, rat, run, because that's how things are done these days. Push through the maze, push through the haze, learn to see through the grays, learn to see through the haze of this 8-day-a-week overtime craze, or learn to become nothing but suicide slaves. In the land of the supersized and the home of the slum, there ain't no time to grow old because you ain't even allowed to be young. Well, I intend to fight fire with a sharply honed tongue, but poetry is more than poet me. It's poet you and poet true. Having the courage to turn this soapbox into a platform so that we can shine the light through the shitstorm of the norm, because this shit right here, enlightenment has shown that this shit ain't normal. But our rights are being blocked like the decaying bridge to true freedom, just waiting to collapse under our train of thought. So they're trying to train our thoughts by taking away from our schools, music, theater, and art. But we sure can fill in bubbles with number 2 pencils. Just more stencils marking the way for marketing status quos, and I don't know where any of this is going to go because lately my flow has been hitting a wall, and this wall stands tall, like the one that leaves people imprisoned in religion shopping malls instead of just kicking it in the halls of karma where good deeds actually still mean something. Instead of just being a list of things to do to get your soul through and hope that someday you might get to earn those wings, but there is still something that we can't quite grasp, and we have been trained to be afraid to ask because they don't want us to know that we were all born with these wings and the ability to sing. No, they'd rather have us kissing some false idol's ringleader of a kiddie porno ring and then say that he's closest to God. What's it going to take for us to recognize that all we got to do is just drop all this shopping and step out the door, stop talking when we pray, and learn to listen some more? But alas, this too shall pass. So I guess I'm just going to go hang out on a derrick somewhere offshore and try to smoke some more grass and try to pass through these bricks of an ego and this mortar of fear, because you see, I didn't come here tonight just to slam. I came here to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down and shut up. I'm tired of banging my head on this wall, and I'm sick of feeling small. You see, I came here tonight to unblock my rights by listening to you all. Thank you for listening. Thank you for encouraging my behavior.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Propaganda Poet. Ooh. Okay. I'm glad that I found out that Colin got that last score from the last judge, because I was about to have to hop on the live like judge number.
It ain't my fault that nigga can't read. I sent it like 10 minutes ago.
It really isn't your
Chat
fault.
is lit right now. It got lost in the sauce.
Yeah, the chat is kind of lit. The chat is kind of lit, and the chat should be lit where you are at home. So if it's not lit, make it lit and jump in that mug and tell everybody how much you like these poets. I can see all the love in our comment section, but I can't see all the love in yours yet. So get to showing that love. Lit. Let's see. And Nicole got a 28.9. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet, never the points. Oh God, the longer that I look at this, the longer I can tell that I fucked up my makeup and didn't hide it properly. So um it's the way I'm gonna have to fix that later. But before we move on to the next poet, I just have a shout out. One, we have writing workshops every Wednesday before our show. Today's workshop was run by Nicole, but different poets, whether it's our feature, one of our organizers, or another community member, is always running a workshop right before our show at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Our Zoom link is always posted online and it's free to attend, and you don't have to sign up for the slam in order to do the workshop. So it's just a great place to write, to get to know some of the folks that will be on the mic, and just have like that creative space that's necessary. And if you are, if you identify as a woman or a femme, we also have a community member, Milani Pelly. Love her so much. But she is doing some writing workshops, free writing workshops in person in Berkeley at Spats on Thursdays and Saturdays. The next one is at Spats Bar tomorrow afternoon. It's called Sister Circles. All of this information is in our link tree, linktree.com/rich oak events. Just click on the link that says Sister Circles for more information. But yeah, definitely if you're in the Bay Area, if you're in Berkeley, check out Milani. It's all sponsored by the city of Berkeley. It's free to attend, free to participate. A great healing writing workshop by an amazing community member. But yeah, we are going to keep on moving with the show, which means on deck we have Esperanza Cabrales. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Chef.
Woo! Woo! Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes.
We used to have it all, but now's our curtain call. Just hope for the applause. Oh, 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 oh. You wave out to the crowd and you take your final bow. See, it's our time to go, but at least we stole. I'm gonna get on this TV, mama, so we can live that good life. No more chalk outline playing twisted with hopscotch court on sidewalk. No more home before the street lights. No more cop lights, only spotlights. Shining on me with the warmth of that smile you used to have. Notice when the kiss of my pores, my melanin nearly melts into a more privileged pigment. The blackness almost fades away like the memory of memorial once a hashtag stops trending. So for my 18 minutes of fame, tell them I was no mere nigga. I was King James 6'8", with a headband-shaped crown atop my waves, the New Testament to greatness 23, across chest and back to represent the nearly restless and rigorous daily hours of repetition that have synchronized my handle and heartbeat. Coach says there's no I in team, but I tell him there's an I in survive, and if there's a better way to do that, I would love to know how. Until then, I'll be good. I shut up and dribble. My mouth will close like Bible in a brothel. I'll do it for Akron. I'll become akin to Atlas, sole purpose to hold this world up because mama needs a house and baby needs shoes. Mouths need food, minds put through school. And after all, Republicans buy sneakers too. So I'll dance like Michael. I'll walk on the moon or water if need be. I'll let a stage be my crucifixion just to ask God in the afterlife why we have to live this way. Come back, holding the remaining 2/5 to make us whole. Mama will make us matter on a stage. I'm special. A foot above ground in a world that'll probably prefer me 6 feet below it. Remember all those little dances used to make me do at the family reunions. Remember how Uncle Sam always loved them the most. I'm gonna be big, bigger than poor, bigger than black, bigger than hungry. You'll never have to work at that damn job again, mama. Even dad will come back in the back. Boy, haven't you seen the streets of Hollywood? Don't you know that these people make ritual of putting their stars in the ground? Don't you know that you are king already? They will rig a derrick to your star, drag you clean out of the sky, and ask how you ever had the audacity to be so much light in a black space. Do not give them a savior when they already killed the first one. Boy, be black, be beautiful, be breathing. You are not a hero that they deserve. Your heart was never a basketball, fool. It was a war drum. You let it beat just as loud as you can love and twice as long as they will let you, and I will handle everything else. Did you know that in 1821, $1,200 could buy a slave his freedom? In 2021, 12 million in a signing bonus will only buy you bigger chains. They've called that inflation. I just want to call you and know you still gonna answer.
Gang, give it up for Chef. For those of y'all who tuned in last year, y'all might remember my co-host Coco. She's finally decided to join me for a show. Again, okay, she's licking my neck and she's gonna start licking my face, and we don't do that because this is a Black household. Any house that I'm in is a Black household. We don't play that shit. We are the blueprint, and therefore we're gonna go off of what we're doing. So now that you know what I value, let's talk about something that I don't value, which is scores, because the after a time penalty, fuck linear time, first of all. After a small time penalty, propaganda poet got a 28.8. Coco, can you say fuck the scores, but give it up for the poet?
Boo.
She just licked my hand, but we're gonna pretend that she said that. Lit. So on deck, we have Kelsey Daniels, but give maximum love for our penultimate poet in the first round. Give it up for Esperanza.
Woo!
Mic check.
We can hear
We hear
you.
you.
Sweet. For so long, I have felt that my future is something that can be found, as though fate and destiny are passive, set in a frame. I am the derrick on the construction site, the hole that it digs, the well of oil that corrupts, that cannot change. I am powerless to adapt, avoid, reconfigure. I find it confounding when others are able to conquer their dreams, beat their issues into submission. For too long, I've been consumed with the dread of being buried under the weight of my own dreams, concerned I will collapse under the weight of the expectations others make of my potential. If I am in a frame, my fate, the borders, my life, the portrait, my dreams, the context, then why do I so fear failure, the peril of a wrong choice? If my choices matter little, my course predetermined, won't every choice bring me to the same place, cause the same effect? You would think someone who struggles to choose, indecisive as a flickering light, would believe themselves capable of saving or ending the world, empowered to become a villain or hero, that they matter. And therefore, their choices do too. If my future is not set, if there is no one path for me or anyone to follow, then no more can I find something that does not exist, as I can find many things when I'm only looking for one. There are no Easter eggs in our timelines, only blips, warnings, signs that we later discover were foreshadows of what was to come. No more can we prevent the path from hindsight than we can a wave from turning into a tsunami. My daydreams are the closest I can get to foresight, colored by hope and romanticism, a fanciful idea of best case scenarios, or if I'm feeling particularly anxious, the worst possible thing. I usually can't predict what will occur, but in realizing how many moments affect an outcome, maybe that can give me some perspective. I've tried so hard to find the right answer. Thinking it can be found is perhaps the greatest mistake I could make. Odd for someone who struggles so much to make a single choice, terrified it could be the wrong one, to realize they all hold potential. And the answer to the question between fate and free will, that answer is yes.
Gang. Give it up for the poet. I was waiting for me to get spotlit. I was like, what's going on? I was like, for a second, I was like, is the poem not over?
That was a mistake.
Did I just interrupt the poet? But then Esperanza didn't say anything, and then I got spotlit, and I was just like, okay. Like I said, I'm awkward, so there's just gonna be more of this. Coco, do you want to come co-host? She wants to co-host. All right, Coco, who's coming up next? On deck, we have the second round.
Did you do scores?
Oh shit, Coco, that was on Coco. That wasn't on me. Coco, what were the last scores? Okay, so Coco was telling me there was a time penalty. Okay, that's interesting. But because they also used the word of the day, Chev still got a perfect 30. Again, fuck the scores. I don't care how high, how low they are. First of all, I don't care how high they are because they ain't higher than me. And I don't care how low they are because they aren't lower than my depression. So fuck the scores in general. Give it up for the poetry and not the points, because poetry is the only thing that gets me through the day. So now you know why I need therapy. Coco. So on deck we have the second round. Okay. But who's coming up next, Coco? Okay. And coming up next, we have Kelsey Daniels.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. Late grandmother whispers to me in midst of panic attack. Do you know that you are loved? That this love I got for you can stretch you without hell and shame, can feel God in full moon and sand. You do not have to keep your pain pressed down and shaken. Run over, open your throat. Do not hold back blessing. You can't game God. You don't choose destiny, not because you're a wretch and unlovable, because you don't even know all the possible that could ever possible. Did you ever see yourself here? The how was never any of your business, but get clear on your why. Lean, drift, ask, please. The assignment, if you choose to accept, love anyway. In hopeless places, dream hard. Prayer circle when all you want to do is sleep yourself into numb. We be fence all around you every day. This unconditioned means that there ain't nothing that separates you from God and good. The call is always coming from inside the house. You are home and heaven. The baby you thought you were healing is cheering you on. You've been carrying her picture around in the back of your phone, telling yourself you were sending back the believe you deserve. Then never once considered she was Sankofaing you back, telling you that you were the wish that her heart made. You've been carrying her wonder, bright side, every optimism and offering she needed to see the world from your full. You gave her that, put her in places to get a hug back. She is here. Hold her hand when you need comfort. Let her guide you. Tomorrow you will be rooting for the shit that you do today, finding the work, the healing, and the rest. Collect and release. She is so grateful for the labor you give up freely. The ones that don't feel like anything but air, the difference between gas chamber and ocean breeze. You don't always think your words matter, but you are a world builder, fragmenting maps and micro notes, Instagram stories, conversation. Your dreams return because it is a code only you can crack. The hate will keep coming, but discern, listen. We were always here. You may have to wait, but we will come. It is the remember that is keeping you here. Hold all of it and keep going. You are getting to free. We see it. So bright and full, we don't miss. Remember that storms come, but we do do not miss. When you leave, it will be time. But while you are here, give where you get. Gather, book the departing flights. Let us order the other steps. Be smart, but hold space for the miracles you are expecting. Start by acknowledging all the ones that already happened. Give the babies the sacred of you. Look for mothers that look for you and own. Don't be afraid to see love in spaces it ain't supposed to be. Do not let the deluded rob you of any room. Use your whole toolkit. Keep your heart, Kelsey. What do you root yourself in? Where can love find a forwarding address? Be still every now and then. We do not give you yourself to torture you. You know the other side well. You chose the moniker "and she's here," and it wasn't a fluke. It was remember. You are worthy of here, so love here. Welcome here. Home here. Do you know that you picked up your crown the second you chose yourself? You wrote the vision, baby. You already wrote it. Return.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for the poet. Colin, is the score that you sent me Esperanza's?
Yes.
Okay. It just didn't have a name, and I realized that I wasn't clear when I was asking for whose score that I was. Wow. Lit. So for reference, Esperanza got a 29.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet, never the points. And also, I mean, I guess you can clap for Coco. She done left me or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I guess, clap for the disloyal.
Let's go, Coco.
But lit. Oh my God. Wait. Oh my goodness. That was the first round, you guys. Colin, if you could send me the score. Oh, perfect. And Kelsey got a 29.5 again. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the points. The poet. Never the points. Lit. So that was our first round. Normally we take the top 5 poets into the second round, but there's only 6 poets, and now I feel like a real asshole just telling somebody to cut. So we're gonna take all 6 poets into the second round. It's going to be reverse order of appearance. So if you went last, get ready because you're going first. If you went first, get comfortable because you got a minute because you're going last. Which, wow, someone said we got more claps for the disloyal. Someone asked if you have a canine named Coco, is her nickname Cocaine? She thinks that's her real name at this point. I call her Cocaine so much. That's not even my dog. It's really bad. It's really bad. Like, I'll just say cocaine and she'll just like start wagging her tail. And it's like, no, that's a drug, baby. All right. But yeah, reverse order of appearance. So that means the poets will be reading in this order in the second round. We have Kelsey Daniels, then we have Esperanza Cabrales, then we have Chev, then we have Propaganda Poet, then we have Nicole Tracy, and then we have Sandy. Give it up one more time for all the poets. Ah, woo, hey. I'm gonna pretend everybody joined me on that. And screaming into a Zoom room by myself, despite the fact that there's like 12 people in this chat. No tea, no shade. But lit, we're not even gonna have a sacrificial poet. We're just gonna jump right on into it like it's the deep end of the pool and our traumatic parents just pushed us off in there to teach us how to swim. So on deck, we have I'm sorry. I'm gonna give y'all a chance to breathe after that one. On deck, we have Esperanza, but give maximum love for the first poet of the second round, coming right back at you again. Give it up for Kelsey.
Y'all got it? You hear me?
Yep.
Universe, you petty bitch. You all looping around hidden desires and the manifestations I didn't even know how to dream ass. Oh, it all worked out in ways I couldn't even fathom, motherfucker. I'm about tired of your timing being all whimsical and purposeful and shit. This heifer up in the sky got the nerve to give me a mirror and show me how fucking fine I am. It's disgusting. How many signs I be bumping all into, reminding me I'm on the right path and shit. I be out here ready to give the fuck up, and then boom, a June bug or an angel number or grandma's song on shuffle, a special delivery from the petty ass beyond, letting me know to sit my ass down somewhere and release the how, because shit is working out for my good. And it's hard, right? Because I think if I'm being honest, the hoe that can catch the hands these most is time. I wish I could go back and tell repressed me that it's coming, the better, that everyone threw in my face, unsure of if it was a wish for me they could actually make good on, because love isn't something you plan for. It's not The Sims, where you just keep mashing buttons and end up with heart bars on full, but this in love with myself shit. It's actually a thing, a realizing. Magic version of me was always there. She just had to go through a few painfully intentional updates. Puzzles don't really look like shit close up, but I guess they've been telling me to wait till I hit that panoramic. The distance will be exquisite but irritating, because knowing then that now it's coming, because I don't know, have mellowed me out a bit, brought a bitch some peace and mindfulness and all the other shit spiritual Instagram be talking about that I double tap. I guess what I'm trying to say is, universe, how dare you actually prepare me for what my heart wants, needs, and deserves? You got some nerve to make me something I can actually believe in.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for the poet.
Let's go.
Lit, 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 lit. All right, all right. I almost went to read the last poet scores until I realized we're in the second round and we haven't had a last poet this round. So yeah. Filling the space with something. Oh, we have other shows. Like, this isn't the only thing that we do. I should probably shout out the other ones. Of course, there is us, the Berkeley Poetry Slam, right here on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook. Every Wednesday. You know that you're watching us, so like, don't need to explain much more. But then we have the Rich Oak Alchemy open mic every first and third Saturday via IG Live at Rich Oak Alchemy. Check us out. I think our next show is this Saturday, and I think somebody's co-hosting. We'll talk about it later. And then we have Oakland Slam every third Tuesday at Luca's Tap Room in Oakland. That is an in-person show, indoors. Vaccination strongly encouraged. We have a raffle if you bring proof of vaccination. Masks are required. So yeah, there is that. And then there is our oh my God, I get to say it. What? We have a new show. So we have a new show. It's an in-person show in Berkeley. It is a showcase with a small open mic called The Poetry Garden. Our first show is going to be December 11th, a Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Doors open. Show starts at 4 p.m. at the Ashby Arts Space, 2035 Ashby Avenue. If you are a Bay native, you might recognize that as the address to the former Expressions Gallery. A new venue has opened up there, and we are delighted to bring a few Bay Area legends. So far, we have Seven Kelly Bolt, we have Nazila Jameson, and Sean William, with more to come. But please visit our Linktree, linktree.com/richoakevents, to get pre-sale tickets. They are only $10. And all of it goes back to us to be able to run these shows. And we are also giving, splitting the proceeds with the Ashby Art Space to get them started and help with that new venue. Because starting a venue is like hard. I don't know if you've ever done it. I've never done it because I don't have those skills. Ashby Avenue, yes, it is. The address is 2035 Ashby Avenue in Berkeley. You can, of course, again, you can visit any of our social media pages or linktree.com/richoakevents for more information. But definitely, it's daytime, it's outside, it's lit. So you should come and support. But we're going to keep moving with this show, which means that on deck we have Chev, but give maximum love for our second poet of the second round, Tutu. Give it up for Esperanza.
Woo!
Can you hear me?
Yee.
We hear you.
People talk about falling in love with your best friend as though it is the ultimate end goal, as though we forget that in our limited lifetimes, we will have the endless capacity to develop more and more friendships, meet people who become just as special to us as a childhood best friend, college roommate, the first person we thought we loved, or the last one we vowed to ever let our heart forget. Every stranger is just an acquaintance not yet made. We gain and lose people as we gain experiences, lose time. We rarely ever realize the last time happens until it's already occurred. Then all we can do is look back, reminisce. I do not wish to go back to days and do them over. I have few regrets. Bridges burn in the distance, and all I can do is remember what came before. There is no way back to what connected us, and I believe we will both be better off. I write this for each person I once loved more than myself, for each person that I thought took up my whole heart, to my first love, my youthful love of innocence gone by, my compassionate love for one who had none for me, to the best friends I have lost in the pursuit of meant to be. The strangers who became reflections where I tried so hard to find all that could be admired, forgetting love is meant to be a mirror, not just a window into a world I can never truly know. Without each scar, each fond memory revisited only seldomly, a bittersweet occasional dream. I would believe hearts to be fragile and capable of ever healing. Love like a wound that infiltrates within you, testing your limits, bringing heat and tension. Anything before it or after it may seem unimportant when only the here and now are pressing. How easy it can be to believe that will only ever be the case. Without history, we are incomplete. I do not long for the rose-colored past. I do not long for a future if only this or that. I'm glad for the people who have added to me. Memories of warmth and laughter, companionships and triumphs, hope in the face of disasters. I was made better through knowing you, loving you as I did not then love myself. When people talk about falling in love as though it is the ultimate end goal, I beg that you keep this in mind. When you look back on past romances, failed relationships that didn't work out, don't look at them as failures or only sorrows. For while within every stranger lies the hope of a good friend not yet made, and romantic love is not made for each one. You weren't made for romantic love, just love. And a best friend is a reflection, an extension of that.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Esperanza. Hey. Hi, Coco. Are you back? Are you ready to co-host? Yes. Can you tell me? Oh my God. Am I gonna have two co-hosts? I don't know. Can I pick up both of these dogs? Yes, I can. Ugh. We have two co-hosts and they don't like each other. So we'll see how this goes. But yes, the last poet, um, Kelsey, got a 29.2. Coco, can you say fuck the scores? And Raina, can you say give it up for the poets, never the points? Lit, 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 lit. Okay, we're not doing this with two dogs. I'm talented, but not. I can't work magic. All right, all right, all right. So on deck. Oh shit, did I close out of the? No, I didn't. On deck, we have propaganda poet, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up to the stage. Give it up for Chef. Woo!
Let's go, Chef. Woo!
New location. Can you hear me still?
Yee.
Loud and clear.
On the day that my life doesn't matter, probably a little while after police have stopped my heart right in front of the people it beats for, forcing me from man to martyr to movement to memory, forcing my mother to stitch back together the pieces of her smile. Your most highly touted of news outlets, carrying only the most pertinent and important information, will be sure to inform all of you that I wasn't no angel. They'll call my non-compliance a deadly sin. Say no amendment protecting my right to bear this blackness or a cell phone. They will dig through my closet and ask the skeletons to tell my obituary and do anything possible to convince you my murder was an act deserving of a paid vacation. So to those who knew of me, please, when they leave these bullet holes in my story, tell them my name. Tell them my parents gave it to me when it was all that they had to give. There was one only dreamt in the daytime as I thought the night stars were too beautiful to miss. Tell them I found stars in the eyes of a girl who now ain't never gonna get that last name I owe her. Tell him I was romantic enough to make Cupid blush, but so irresponsible, he thought me a waste of his arrows. Tell him I laughed as though I had all the time in the world, but cried as though I saw this coming, because where I'm from, we used to wear matching hoodies with the Reaper so he don't have trouble finding us. We're buying the black kid's birthday present before the day itself is more gamble than gift. So tell him I gave. Didn't matter if my glass was half empty or half full, as long as we could pour into others. Tell him we were poor. We ain't always have 2 cents to rub together, so we learned to do it with our hands. We called it prayer, called it church, made it of each other, wrapped in each other as tightly as the kinks in our hair. We called it love, painted it black because that was the only color we didn't get to see it come in yet. Tell them we just wanted to see things like the world, like tomorrows, like examples of people whose bodies equated to more than their police descriptions. And I found some in my afterlife where ancestors taught lessons using an ungentrified textbook. I thought it was crazy that in death they were teaching me what type of person I was, yet in life no one even told me I was a person. The textbook read, your name is Siobhan. Age, old enough to say I'm fucking up, but young enough to still just call it learning. Gender, mind your business. Ethnicity, real nigga, as in like real nigga with a GA from East Atlanta, GA, where anyone who wants to use an ER get put in one. Also tell them I was a Virgo. I ain't really know what that meant, except that I was born in September. So tell them that I was born. Tell them that I'm mother. Tell them I was somebody's son. Tell them I shined as though I was somebody's son and often burned as though I was somebody's son, one that only dreamt in the daytime because I thought a black sky was too beautiful to miss. I called it heaven's tinted window. I peered through it as I rode shotgun with a guy who ain't heard from in a bit and wanted to know exactly who they've been praying to. And if by some strange chance it was Jesus, I wonder if he told them that being perfect didn't keep him from being killed. So when they tell you that I was no angel, tell them they're right. And then tell them it doesn't matter. My life did. After Carvin's the sun.
Gang, gang, gang. Give it up for Chef. Woo! Woo! All right. And if I'm not mistaken, it looks like Esperanza got a 28.4. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, never the point. The poet, never the points. All right. On Diggity Deck. Ooh, I like that. On Diggity Deck, I'm trying to keep this interesting. We have, I'm not even looking at the list. Like, I'm sitting up here pretending like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not even looking at the list. I wasn't even pretending to look at the list. On deck, we have Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Let's go.
Red sails in the morning are more than just a warning. Winter is here, it's the storm of the year. Self-interest snowflakes bury us in white privilege blizzards, leaving us all snowed. Recent statistics show the primary provider of mental health services in America is the prison system. There are so many things to unpack in this fact that I don't even know where to begin to start. But to get to the heart of the matter, perhaps we should probably process this constant blockade to progress that might just be forcing us to lose our focus. It would appear that red is the perfect color. For anger and fear are like flypaper for the emotionally and morally bankrupt, so easy to corrupt. You see, when America is in a red state of mind, here is what we find. Deep drilling derricks tearing up the earth. Toxic masculinity is just part of the scenery. A woman's body is just another commodity. And because we demand better, somehow we're the oddity. Accountability is an endangered species, as are truth, logic, and reason. And treason? Well, that's just another day at the office now. And while it appears that the blue might be part of this fight, the ones who still win always seem to be white. How can any of this be right? This machine is no mystery. It's got us all ignoring actual history. This has gone on much too far. We have lost important lessons, forgotten our Scooby Doo lessons about who the true monsters are.
Gang, 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 give it up for propaganda poet. Woo! And for reference, Chev got a 29.3. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. Never the poet. All right, all right. I think that means on deck, we have the last poet of the whole night, Sandy. But give maximum love to our penultimate poet. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Let's go, poet.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
I'm hungry. No, I'm thirsty. Eat more water, stay hydrated, and pretend it is fullness. Can drowning be the same thing as disappearing? I can tell you the exact number of bites it takes so no one is suspicious. I can show you all the ways to stay busy and forget the last day you ate, but you will remember exactly what you ate. I called it a punishment because I was too afraid to ask for help, too afraid to tell you where the bruises came from, because everything is ugly when you're ashamed. And when you are ashamed, you think you contaminate everything. They prayed to the ones who hurt them in the hopes that it wouldn't hurt tomorrow. Every day was tomorrow, and every tomorrow hurt more. Every tomorrow sneered. It will always hurt. Don't you see that's what you've done to yourself? When you can't see yourself, it is easy to forget how you've hurt yourself, to forget what is wrong, but still always remember why you did this to yourself, and why you can never seem to look and find yourself again. 2, a perfectly portioned erasure. No, eat. Hydrated fullness is not the same thing. Disappear so no one is suspicious. Stay busy. Forget you ate. Call it a punishment. The bruises are ashamed. It would hurt tomorrow and hurt more. It will always hurt. It's easy to forget yourself. Wrong. Always remember to look and find yourself again.
Gang, gang, give it up for Nicole Tracy. Woo! All right, all right, all right. And for reference, like we're in France. I see people laughing in the Zoom, and that makes me feel so much better about my dumbass jokes. I have enough dad jokes that you think that I'd have the kid before my twin brother. But surprisingly enough, he actually has more dad jokes than me, which is why he became a dad first. I am not prepared for children. I need more ways to traumatize a child before.
Reggie, is that how fatherhood works?
Whoever has the most like shitty jokes ends up becoming a father. Yeah, because the shittiest joke is like gender roles. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. No, the shittiest joke is how men demand gender roles but refuse to fulfill any of theirs. It's like, oh, you want somebody in the kitchen? You go out and change the oil. You go out and make the money. But you're asking someone to cook and work a full-time job and take care of your kids. Makes no sense. Anyway, I'm not here to get the live stream taken down. That's Tino's job. I'm here. Tino's looking at me like, will you let me live that down?
I
And
will
the
kick you
answer
out.
is no.
What happened?
The answer is no. Someone said, my partner says he can't wait till I make more so he can be a stay-at-home house spouse. No. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. You can't.
As a house husband, I support this narrative.
Oh my goodness. Okay. It is 9:47, so we're gonna keep it pushing. But just for your reference, Propaganda Poet got a 28.1. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, never the points. The poet, never the points, which means on deck, we have giving out all this money and going to bed. But give maximum love for our last poet of the night. Give it up for Sandy.
Let's go, Sandy. Ándale.
Gnarly, bro.
You got this.
Okay, I'm there. All right. Two homies from different hoods. Enemies until they were deported here to Mexico. It is written from prison that all ballads and batallas and vendettas be abandoned once one crosses La Frontera. One small, sweet, and fierce, oozing innocence and charm, when sober. A younger man with 7 naked ladies on his back and sur tattooed on his hand. 3 dots and a triangle next to his eye. The other tall, built, sophisticated, and on this particular night, sober. Norteño tattoo smartly hidden under his shirt. The younger having hiked up the hill, drunk and stumbling, seeking out his brother in recovery. Slurring, he explains that he's from the other side, oblivious that this is obvious. He remains super hot when high, but loses his considerable intelligence. Searching not to fight, or in his case, get beat up, but rather for the radical kinship of we strange group of bedfellows called 12 Step. How many steps did he take to arrive here? Up here at the top of the hill in Todos Santos, Baja California Sur. Todos Santos means all saints. And on this dark night, these are my saints. These are my heroes, the elusive ex-gangsters. Having accepted the miracle of freedom from gang life, now look into each other's eyes, searching for hope. Do we deserve another miracle? Sobriety? My lovely friends, see. And while you're at it, big guy, could you bring that fool down the hill to me once he stupid ass sobers up? I do not have your patience y nomás le daría una patada en la cara.
Gang. Give it up for Sandy.
Woo!
And then keep that applause going for every single person who touched this stage tonight.
Yeah.
For reference, Nicole got a 28.7. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet. And Colin, can I get that last score for Sandy? If you have it, unless you're
I'm
waiting
still
on
getting
something.
it. We're doing some meath right now.
Some meath.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
no.
like math, but automated.
No, because you said meath, and I was just like, that sounds like that sounds like meth with extra steps, and I hope we're not doing meth. So
Meath, I thought you
Especially not with extra steps.
right?
Not till Saturday.
I honestly, I feel like there shouldn't be any extra steps to meth. I feel like there should be extra steps to getting meth, but once you do meth, there should be no extra steps. Like nothing. Like I wish it was like meth was like weed. Like people would do meth and then go to bed. Like I've never I've never had to fight somebody because
Hey,
they
babe.
smoke. Yeah.
Tangent. Coco.
Oh my God, is that hot cocoa
Cute.
with marshmallows?
Cute.
Aww.
I agree with
I'm
what
going
you
to
said,
like.
though, Reggie.
I'm going to like. First of all, this is love.
Cute.
This is love because
I like how he brought it at like the perfect time for you too.
oh my God, it's so good. It's so chocolatey. Ugh.
Cute.
But is that abuelitas?
Is it?
Was it Abuelita?
Target brand. Sorry.
Target brand.
At least it's not Nestle.
Mm. Mm. I'm not trying to get sued, but also we should definitely sue Nestle for like water rights.
We should sue Nestle for a lot of things.
We, you know what? I wish God would sue Nestle in the form of destruction.
Yes,
But again,
like
please
Sodom
do
and
not sue us.
Gomorrah.
We are a small nonprofit, and we actually like none of these views are the views of the nonprofit. Lit. I have scores rolling on in. Ooh, it's interesting. Okay, I was about to say if the reason it's taking so long to get the second and first scores is because there's a tie, I'm gonna be like, first of all, how? Because I feel like I was doing really good mental math. And of course, I don't think there's a tie. I would hope not. I love like ties and camaraderie like when I'm competing, but when I'm hosting, Can I get that last score?
I feel like the only time a tie's ever been cute is like in that movie Aquila and the Bee, where like Aquila and that one other person were kept tying in the end or whatever, so like they could both be champions. Like that was
that was a cop out.
Reggie, you'll get the final score when you finish your hot chocolate.
Okay, that's probably not going to happen in a reasonable amount of time because this hot chocolate is actually like really hot, and I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit.
Are you trying to burn his tongue, Tino?
Right, like damn. See, this is
I'm sorry, I didn't know you couldn't blow out the hot chocolate, but he was just thirsty.
I sent the last score into you. Sorry if it took so long. Like I said earlier, I am not proficient in Excel.
Show eight. Oh my God. Lit. So I almost said on deck, but
on deck is the math result.
Right. On deck, we have me drinking hot chalky. But give Max no, I'm not going to go through this. Let's see. In third place with a 57.6 and winning 20 whole American dollars. Give it up for Esperanza. Congratulations. I don't think you were expecting that.
I
wasn't. Anything you'd like to say to the people?
Yay!
Thanks.
Right back at you. Thank you. Congratulations. Yes. And in second place with a 58.7, give it up for Kelsey. Anything you'd like to say to the people?
Thank y'all for liking this like new Notes app shit.
Notes app shit, not even titled yet. Gang. We stand new shit at our new shit show. I don't know if that was clear. Also, is this your first time at one of our virtual shows?
Yes, I am calling in from San Diego.
From San Diego, hey, lit. It's very rare that we get people from Cali, but not in the Bay. So, West Coast, gang. Thank you so much for showing up. And we hope you're here next time. We would love to have you again. So thank you. But that means that in first place, with a 59.3. Give it up for Chef.
Let's go, Chef.
I'm going to Disneyland. No, I'm just playing. Ace, man. Y'all always a vibe. I love being here.
We love having you here. Thanks for being here. I think we're all still recovering from the Disneyland joke. Because, like, part of me was like, oh, you're going to Disneyland? Like, because, like, here's the thing. When you're not from California and you decide to go to LA, I hear so many people like, yeah, we're going to LA. We're going to swing back up to San Francisco and, like, visit some friends in San Francisco. I'm like, no, the fuck you're not. Because that's like traveling all the way up the fucking East Coast. It's not fun. Like, for reference, LA, if you incorporate traffic, can be upwards of a 10-hour drive from San Francisco. It is not close by far. Like, when you look at the West Coast, California makes up 2/3 of the West Coast of the United States. We are not close to California. California isn't even close to California. Oh my goodness. But thank you, Chef. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Esperanza and Sandy and Nicole and Propaganda Poet. And I feel like, no, I don't think I'm missing anyone. If I am missing anyone.
Did you say Nicole?
I said Sandy, Nicole, Propaganda Poet, Esperanza, Chef, and Kelsey. Yeah, that's everyone. Thank you,
Coco,
everyone. Wow.
Reggie,
oh my
Colin,
goodness.
Tino.
Oh yes,
thank you, organizers.
Yes, thank you.
It's fine. I don't need recognition. It's fine.
Look, that I don't need recognition shit is how you don't get recognized when you need to be recognized. So I want to shout out every single person behind the scenes that makes this happen. Shout out. Actually, this is a blood house, so this is a Christmas tree. But as you can see from all the red ornaments,
Star has directed you to shut the fuck up.
Isn't it blue lights? Did you mute yourself?
You're set tripping, Reggie. You're set tripping.
You muted yourself.
This is how bad it is. Reggie muted themselves.
No, Tino muted me. The fucking. Anyway, I think that's a sign that this is over.
This has been by far the most fun open mic slam that I've been to in quite a while. And
oh my
the word of the day thing is phenomenal. You are a wonderful host. Your makeup is beautiful. Shut the fuck up.
Even though it's halfway
wonderful
done.
to meet y'all, man. Wonderful to meet y'all.
Thank you to everyone who's here, everyone who made this happen, and thank you to you sitting at home watching this deranged shit show go on for 2 hours. Y'all are the realest MVPs for supporting live poetry in your own home. We will catch you at our next show, the Alchemy Open Mic, hosted by one of our competitors, Nicole. So yeah. This show is over, but the night is not. So, I don't know, like, do what you want, but you're not going to be watching us. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.
Oh, look who decided to join us. Coco, can you dance?